It's Saturday morning, which means it's time for an edition of the Remax Magnolia Show with myself, Cutis Pope, and our co-host this week, James Minchau. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Curtis. Best day ever, of course.
It's always great to have you in studio because you know the show is going to go off the rails just a little bit.
If we were a train, it would be a disaster.
Well, you know what? We're not as bad as when Richard comes in, or maybe we're worse. I don't know.
Well, I would certainly like to test this theory.
I think actually, because Richard, no, we're worse.
Really?
Yeah.
We are?
Yeah, we have more fun.
Okay, good. Well, but when me and Richard come on, I mean...
That's a whole other story.
We bring guitars.
Yeah, and we try to keep you away from coming together.
That's true, yeah. A lot of people do. I know Michelle does.
I know you do bring in guitars, and we get music going and stuff like that. And I mean, you were concerned about how your hair looked before we started. And I said, I thought you looked really good for a drummer.
You're so mean. You're the
I'm
mean.
a drummer. How is that mean?
Oh, oops. Sorry.
I mean, I know you're the front man of a band, which,
I drum, though.
You got to take the level up a bit when you're the front man, right?
That's true. Well, but what if the front man is a drummer, like Five Alarm Funk?
Yeah, or the band.
Yeah, that guy like rips his shirt off after the first song.
Yes, I've never known how guys like Don Henley or these guys, how they can sing and drum. I can't sing to start, let alone sing and drum.
I can sing and just drum, just straight up tap.
Yeah, no, I can't do any of that. No. And I can't sing anyway. So
I'm no Stevie Wonder.
No, that's another level again, right? Like, come on, he can play how many instruments? Come on,
30.
It's not right.
He's good.
All that talent.
It's true.
Well, speaking of talent, of course, you're a talented musician, but also a talented realtor.
That's what they say.
That's the rumor.
That's what all the testimonials on my Google page say.
So today we're here to talk about real estate or some kind of topic real estate related. So what do you got this week for us?
Let's fire it off. Well, I've had a few people talking to me lately about not just downsizing, but sort of farm sizing or homesteading, if you will. So these are people who, a lot of people live in the city and they're sick of the city life, and it feels like it's getting squishier and squishier and squishier in the middle of, say, Wally or Guilford or something like this, and they just need to decompress. And with decompression, there's a whole mindset that goes along with this decompression. Is when you live out in the country, what do you think of? You think of fresh foods or, sparkling creeks, forests maybe, foraging for your own food.
So people are looking for hobby farms or a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, people want hobby farms, but, the average person doesn't know what to do with a hobby farm.
Right.
Let's face it. Unless you do some serious research or you buy the hobby farm and just work your way into it. And then also, that can sometimes get a little pricey. So what I'm suggesting is that one can homestead and not have to be in the wilderness. You can pick a place to live that's out just far enough out into the valley or into the country, let's say, and have it not be have it not be full of traffic and full of people, but also be adjacent to things that will make your life better. Like, say, foraging for beautiful, delicious mushrooms, or having chickens in your backyard.
Okay, well, first off, let's make always know what you're doing when you're foraging for mushrooms.
Yes, kids, don't pick the wrong ones.
There's a couple of things that can go sideways there. One, you can get something that'll kill you.
Yes.
Or two, you can get something that'll have you seeing dragons.
Yes, and I'm not talking about dragons or
let's
death.
Be very careful that you know what you're looking for, that you've done your research in advance before you go foraging for mushrooms.
It's true. One of my fall hobbies is actually hunting for mushrooms. I don't know if many people know this.
They do now.
Stay tuned, because in the Fraser Valley, especially out near Hope, Agassiz, there is a cornucopia of mushroom foraging to do. Oyster mushrooms are great to try to find. Now, again, look up and know what you're picking before you eat them, honestly, because there can be some really terrible ones. But chanterelles, oyster mushrooms are some of my favorites to go out and try to hunt for. And like you literally feel like you're hunting, but you don't have to shoot at anything.
I hope not. If you're shooting the mushrooms, there's not going to be a lot left.
Well, my mushroom gun, I only put a little bit of, shot in it. Mushroom shot though.
Bang! What are you doing over there? I saw an oyster mushroom.
I'm making a stew. But like, so there's, when you live in the middle of Guildford or say the center of Langley City, your options for foraging is quite low outside of dumpster diving. And so a lot of people might want to grow things, forage for things, fish for things. Like there is food out there in the world that doesn't come from grocery stores. There's like, let's say you live out in Agassiz somewhere. You are steps away in almost any direction from great fishing. Like me and you should go out right after this. Like it's Saturday morning. We could probably beat the traffic out to Agassiz, go to Harrison Mills, throw a line in, and we would come home with supper. Like it's true.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many lakes where you can find trout and kokanee and the right time of year salmon and stuff. I mean, yeah, there's lovely fishing here in the valley. So yeah, I know what you're saying there. There's
so much that you can get from that, and so I mean, foraging is a great way to do it, but you have to be in the places where you can make it worthwhile, because I mean the time per calorie is quite high. But I mean, are you spending time at the gym each morning? And how much
Obviously, look at me.
I know. I could tell.
I don't even know how to spell gym.
Your ears are...
It's J-I-M, right?
It's not. That's my name.
Oh, sorry. Was that Gime place? That G-Y-M?
Yeah, Gime.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I don't go there.
Gim. Yes. Yeah. No, you don't like those. But some people do it. Some people go there and they actually spend money to go do things where they could be going and doing things like getting out into the forest, learning about this stuff, and coming home with let's say a basket full of chanterelle mushrooms, a small trout, and maybe some berries. And you add a few things that you do have to buy from the grocery store, like a hamburger and fries.
Let's face it, though.
And you got a fantastic dinner.
When you're saying berries, I mean blackberries grow in the valley. So
many of them.
So wild, and you can pick
mountain
up so many
blueberries. Like there are so many mountain blueberries up there in the early spring that you don't need to grow them. You drive up Sylvester Road in Mission, go up into the mountain there, go have a swim, and then come out and pick a ton of blueberries. Like mountain blueberries are everywhere. There's no need to grow them. But growing things is something you can also do when your land prices are a little bit lower out that way. So let's say you're living in a townhouse right now. There's no chance you can have any decent sized garden. I mean, a garden to feed 4 people, you're going to need 4,000 to 8,000 square feet to really feed 4 people. And so you need a bigger space. You need more land to actually grow these gardens and actually, provide, grow your potatoes in one section and maybe carrots. You grow your leafy stuff over here. You grow your onions. You can actually plant onions now in the fall and actually have a good crop of onions and never have to buy any of these vegetables. And then if you don't want to go out fishing or you don't like hunting, then buy your meat from the store. This is fine, but you know where your vegetables are coming from. You know what you sprayed on them, which is usually nothing, and you've got yourself a fantastic garden. And so, having the space to do that, you need to get out of the city to do that. So if your dreams are, homesteading, or your dreams are foraging, or trying to live maybe a little more sustainable life, you can do that. Now, in Mission, if you're thinking about moving to the Mission area, you can actually have chickens in your backyard. Now, I know Abbotsford, Langley, Chilliwack, that's not allowed yet. I think Abbotsford's thinking of it, but, I mean, chickens, would you want chickens?
Chickens aren't the problem; it's the roosters.
You're not allowed roosters, though. Actually,
that makes sense.
It's a noise bylaw.
Yeah,
and I don't think they've come up with a specially genetically modified mute rooster.
No,
actually, mute rooster. That's the name of my heavy metal band.
This is a great band name, actually.
It is actually.
Quick, trademark that.
Somebody send me a AI picture at jamesminchau@gmail.com.
I love that.
Send me a picture of a mute rooster.
Oh, that is great. No,
album cover.
Growing up around, farms, my aunts and uncles had berry farms, and there was always, they'd have a few chickens or maybe a few cows or pigs or whatever, and the chickens were fine, but it was the roosters.
The roosters, you can't have them in regular lots.
Yeah,
in Mission, so
you don't want them around anyway.
You don't want them around. Yeah, you want to lay eggs that you can eat, not eggs you can't eat.
No,
or shouldn't.
You don't want your yolk with a beak. No. Sorry.
Just had breakfast too, buddy. Come on.
People are probably eating breakfast right now, and I threw that out there. I apologize for that reference. Yeah. Oh, that was kind of cruel of me.
Yeah, I apologize on behalf of Curtis.
As you should. This is an interesting topic. I like this because, I just spent just enough time on farms growing up and know what you're talking about. But you know what? We got to take a break.
Oh, darn it.
But I want to continue talking about this.
Okay.
And we'll do that in just a minute. Now, if people want more information about your listings and what you do as a realtor, all that fun stuff, where can they go?
Well, there's two places they can go. If they just want me, silly old me, they can go to jamesminchau.com. But if they want a cornucopia, I should say that word again, of realty stuff, it's remaxmagnoliarealty.com.
And we're back with more right after this.